Good evening. So, people, Professor Melly Mail here in the lab, the hooditician, the hood postman, the hood journalist. Just want to talk to you about a couple of things today. First and foremost, let me say shout out to Asiatic Supreme. Ran into him today out in Walmart. Shout out to him and his family. He gave a shout out to KM Videos and the whole KM Video team, where knowledge and content is king. Also, I want to acknowledge the Marvin Watkins, good friend of Conrad. He lost his life a few days back to gun violence, and we just want to keep his family encouraged and keep them praying. He was actually turned his life over to Christ, and he had been pastoring 23 years in a church. So just want to stay encouraged in that. Let's get into it. The cure for lazy propaganda and ignorance is information. We're living in a time where we're dealing with this Trump administration. They had condensed and they have a myopic way of thinking. Don't ever stop using your intellectual vigilance. Never allow your mind to become defenseless. Your body is an absolute mirror of what your mind as you worry. Your body will show it. As you love, your body will show it. As you become overwhelmed, your body show it. As you become angry, your body will show it. Every living cell in your body is being allowed or resistance to the way you feel and think. Always remember, what's behind the appearance is the reality. We must unlearn what we have learned to become a conditioned mind. You cannot comprehend the infinite with a conditioned mind. So therefore, I want to share with you today, I have a couple of books that I have with me. The first one is Behold a Pale Horse. Behold a Pale Horse has a ton of information that's dealing with what we're going through this day and time, being the COVID-19 and coronavirus. It don't specifically talk to that, but it talks about the viruses and the information that's being put out there. The author was William Milton Cooper. He was a naval intelligence officer. He was actually assassinated after he had written this book, and he gave up a lot of jewels in this book. So I suggest you go out and read it. And also, I would like you to take a look at this book as well. It's called The Committee of 300. It's by John Coleman, Committee of 300. It talks about the Carlyle Group Trilateralism and the Bilderbergers and the Rockefellers and all these type of people, DuPont family and all these people that are super rich and look to establish a one world order. They do not need people, old people, undesirable criminals, and people that don't fit into the today's society of the one world order. They will try to eliminate them through viruses and through microchips embedded into your skin. So let's get into it. Let's take advantage of this time while the churches are down and they're not on their prosperity thing where they try to give you misinformation and try to take you in a different space, so to speak. You know, our people right today is information poor, and they definitely suffer from information malnutrition. And it's only because of people that so-called that they look forward to being leaders and pastors over their churches, or whether they're imams or synagogues or temples or whatever. You know what I mean? There's certain things that they do in these places to get you to be a part of their congregations, and a lot of times they're not interpreting the Bibles right. So I suggest that you get into your Bibles and your Qurans and read them for yourself and just become familiar with them a little more than what you have been, you know, due to the fact you go to church and let those guys interpret what it's saying or not saying. So I'm not saying that we live in a one-size-fits-all world, but there's a lot of people that's out there misleading you and not giving you good information. Again, Trump administration is very myopic in their thinking, so you don't want to get too wrapped up in listening to what Donald Trump. If you look at Anthony Fauci, the doctor, when he put his hand over his face, that he was so embarrassed about what he was hearing Donald Trump was speaking. So, you know, again, it goes back to what's behind the appearance is the reality, you know what I mean? So let's not get stagnated by these individuals that call themselves rulers, you know what I mean? Because we are the people. We are for the people, by the people. We are the people of this United States of America. So therefore, I got also another book. I'm going to be turning over to S. Mac, you know, as when the world was black, the untold history of world's first civilization and the supreme understanding. So I'm gonna get this out to him, when I get in touch with him. So I just want to tap in with you today and let you know you are life, you are love, you are beauty, you are sweet truth, you are your joyful thoughts. I love you and I hope you love me. And continue to read, research, and understand what's in. Press up them likes, subscribe, and just share this information. And let's continue to learn, and not be stagnated by what people do as far as going into a building and sit down and you get some feel good, and you feel like you've been born again from that situation. But it's much more than that, and you have to be committed to this information because information is evolving, change is occurring constantly. Whether you want to change or not, change is happening. So let's be a part of this change, but let's be a part of the good change and not be hampered down by misinformation or distorted information. Once again, Professor Melly Mel, Next Level, the hood politician, the hood technician, the hood postman. And that's like, don't become marginalized and let these people marginalize and underestimate and undervalue you. We are culturally responsible and we are value focused. Professor Melly Mel. Like, subscribe, and share. We out.